You're listening to Well and Worthy Life, the podcast that helps midlife women feel better, look better, and live better. I'm your host, Deanna, menopause wellness coach turned to lifestyle creator, and I'm here to give you all of my tips, tools, and real talk you need to thrive in this second half of life. Hey friends, welcome back to Well and Worthy Life. So today, usually I have notes and I'm trying to keep on a schedule, but this is just going to be a short little episode because I've been thinking and actually talking to a friend of mine, and we were talking about how we dress can age us too. You guys loved the podcast that I did on my facelift, and of course, doing things like Botox and fillers and facelifts, that helped with aging, right? And then the next podcast that we had on there was about the peptides and how we can be doing everything right and definitely keeping our bodies in shape and the right body composition and all that. And then I did the podcast on belly fat, which, that's something, and motivation. I've done that. But I don't really talk a ton about on the podcast about fashion. But I am definitely into fashion. You may or may not know this, but when I was a little girl, I did some modeling. I actually was a little pageant girl for a while. Imagine that. But my mother was a model, and she modeled for, you may remember, Parisians and Lovemans back in the day, and she did some commercials. And so I've always been into fashion, and my mother used to always just dress impeccably. She actually never wore jeans until I think she was in her 50s. She was always put together when she went out of the house. She always had her makeup on. I am quite the opposite. I don't always have my makeup on. I don't always look just perfect. And that was a big, I don't know how to say it, a big shoes to fill. When I remember one of my first and earliest memories was standing at the sink in the bathroom, and I could barely see over the sink. But I remember looking up in the mirror. My mother was standing next to me, and I can still see her to this day. She had on white, I think of them as white jeans. So maybe she did have on white jeans. And I don't know what top she had on, but I remember looking at her and thinking, man, she is just beautiful. And my mother was beautiful. She's been gone for over 10 years now, but she is the one who really got me into loving fashion. And it's funny because even when I was a little girl, if I didn't look a certain way, and I don't think this is the right thing, but we all do the best that we can with our children. And I'm sure my children could really have a heyday on saying some things that I did or didn't do. But she would say if I didn't look a certain way, then I couldn't go with her. If I didn't have my hair pulled back like she liked it, if I didn't have the clothes on, even when my boys were young, if they didn't look cute, she didn't want them going with her. So she was very into outward appearance. And now I think this rebellion in me, I definitely want to look good. Don't get me wrong. If you know me, I put my makeup on, but I don't look done. I don't have to put my makeup on. I get on Instagram without my makeup. I'm much more relaxed. So fashion does play a role in my life. And on Instagram, I'm sharing all my fashion tips and things that I love. But one thing that we can do when we're older, as we get older, really probably past 50, maybe 60 now that I'm 60, but definitely past 50. I remember one of the things my mom said to me before she died, and I was 50 at the time, and she died right after that. She said to me, Deanna, how long do you think you can wear your cutoffs? Because I love my jean cutoffs. And I was like, I don't know. As long as I feel comfortable and confident in them. And I still wear cutoffs at 60. So I definitely think, though, that we can dress in ways that make us look ridiculous. We can dress in ways that age us. We can dress in all kinds of different ways. And I think it's really important that we find our style and what works best for our bodies. And, obviously, as we age, our bodies change. one thing that I love to see on younger women is I love it when they show their midriffs a little bit, not tons, but I think especially if they really are fit, it looks so good. And as much as I would like to say that I could do that, I don't. I do sometimes when I'm working out, maybe, but I try only to show like an inch of my midriff because let's just face it, my skin doesn't look the same. But if I wore a baggy t-shirt, that would age me also. So if I wore a bunch of baggy clothes all the time, that would age me. And there are some clothes that definitely ages you. Me and my friend were talking about it today. We were talking about how, if you wear things a certain length, if it hits you the wrong way, it will age you. If it's boxy, there are just certain things that when you put on, it will age you. The other thing that I've just learned recently, they used to talk about this a lot, but that's gone years without being talked about, are your colors. And if you wear the right color, it makes all the difference in the world. The other day I was shopping and I saw this blue. Periwinkle blue is one of my colors. Like when I put that color on, it makes my eyes bluer. It is a great color for me. So I love to wear that periwinkle blue. White, I'm wearing a white button down right now. White is probably not the ideal color for me. Really, off-white is much better color for me, but I still wear white. And black is not the best color for me either, but I still wear black. But you know how sometimes you put on a color and you just feel drab? Well, don't put it on anymore. Just take it off and remember, don't buy that. In fact, I did ChatGPT to find out what my colors were. And I think it's like a warm, let me look at my phone because I saved it and I would suggest you do this. It's warm spring. And I had it give me a color chart. And sure enough, these colors, when I wear them, it makes me look brighter. It just doesn't age me. It makes me look a lot better when I wear these colors. And so what I did was I got ChatGPT to give me a palette of colors, and then I've saved it on my phone so that when I'm shopping, I can stay in these colors. Sometimes we start looking and we're out shopping and we see different things that we like. And then we get it home later and we put it on and it just doesn't look good at all. It's really hard a lot of times to tell in the lighting when we're, out shopping. And I know a lot of us shop online now. And you really need to stay in your palettes because you're going to feel much more confident when you are wearing the right color. So I would highly suggest that to really stay within your colors and to stay in something where you feel confident. Like when you put it on, do you feel confident in it? If it's too tight or uncomfortable, then get rid of it. I know you may have spent a lot of money on it, but just get rid of it. I have to do that too sometimes. Like I will buy something when I'm out and maybe it's spur of the moment or maybe I've thought about it and I really want it. And then I wear it a few times and I just don't feel good in it. Like it's uncomfortable or it is, just not the right thing. I've noticed for me, I'm so happy mid-rise jeans are coming back instead of these really high-waisted jeans. High-waisted jeans, to me, are one of the most uncomfortable things. I know they look really great on some people, and they elongate people and make them look taller and look wonderful. But on me, they are just so uncomfortable. So I just don't like those. So my rule of thumb now is if I wear it and I don't feel confident in it, or it's very uncomfortable, or if it bunches or just whatever, then I just put it in my giveaway box. I consign some things, donate other things. I think it's just important that we dress to fit our style. And I don't think when you're a certain age, you have to dress a certain way. I don't think you should be copying your 20-year-old daughter when you're 60. Even me, I look at my daughter-in-law, I would think, oh, that is so cute. I need to get an outfit like that. Well, what she can wear at 30 and what would look good on me at 60 is totally different. There was a time where I could wear what she wears, but for the most part, like she had these cute leather shorts. They were so cute. But on me, that would not work at all. So there are some things that at 60, I don't feel comfortable wearing anymore. It's really just been recently, and honestly, I will still wear shorts, even though my legs do not look as great as they once did. Saggy knees are not looking the best, but that's part of aging, right? And I'm still going to wear shorts. I think that it is all about finding what is best for you. And if it means less clothes, sometimes less is better. I know for me, the more clothes I have, and I do have a lot of clothes, I'm not going to lie, the more clothes I have, sometimes it can be the harder to get dressed. Or what I'll do is I end up wearing probably a fourth of what I have because we tend to repeat ourselves. I can't tell you, I right now have on this white classic button-down shirt, and I probably have 5. They may fit different, but I may have, repeat buy a lot of the same things, and I bet you're the same way. Some things are high price, some things are low price. I tend to, if it's not very much or not very expensive, to buy more of it, which again, it's not always the best. And I learned that a long time ago, but I don't always pay attention to that. Learning it and then applying it is totally different. But after my mother passed away, I cleaned out her closet. And my mother was notorious for if it was on sale, she didn't buy one, but she bought multiples, especially if it came in different colors. Like multiple J. Crew t-shirts that came in, every color imaginable. She bought these one pair of shoes in like 5 different colors. And I know I never saw her in those. So just try to rein it in. And especially as we come up on a new season, as we are adding to our wardrobe, go through and get rid of things that you're not going to wear, that's outdated, that's worn. Get rid of your old white t-shirts. Most of them need to be replaced because white just wears after a time. And then make a list of what you need, your basics. And then on those trendy items, you just really want to dial in and decide. You can spend a lot of money on those trendy items, but I'll be honest, there's a lot of places you can buy those trendy items that look just as good. And because you're not going to keep it if it's trendy, right? So don't spend a lot of money on it unless it's just something that you're like, I have to have this, and you just do it. Maybe you can hold on to it for your grandchild one day. We know everything always comes back in style, right? But anyway, that's just kind of my thoughts on dressing as I've gotten older and really trying to stay relevant and, fashionable, but really whatever my fashion style is. I've learned that I like classic, basics, a little boho here and there, depending upon what it is. And but I really am most comfortable in a great pair of jeans and a white t-shirt. And that can go so many different ways. You can change it up so many different ways by adding a different belt, by adding different shoes, by adding a jacket, by adding a scarf. So there's so many ways that you can wear one pair of jeans and one t-shirt. Don't think about quantity, think about quality and what you have, because you don't want to be standing there at your closet going, what am I going to wear today? And I think it does get harder as we get older, only because our body shapes have changed. We don't feel as confident to wear certain things, and that's not a bad thing. Embrace where you are and where you feel comfortable, and then go with that. There's no reason that just because there's a trend that you have to go with that trend. One of the things that I am loving with spring right now, and I never would have thought this, but is this butter yellow that I have seen everywhere. And I think every time I see it, I buy it because I'm loving it. It feels very warm and inviting. And honestly, it is part of my warm spring colors because it's more of in my warm springy, it's more of a creamy, buttery yellow. So, which fits right in with the warm spring palette. So anyway, that is my podcast for today. I wonder how you feel about dressing as you've gotten older. How do you feel like it's changed a lot? Have you evolved? I feel like for me, I've really evolved as I've gotten older, and I've gotten more comfortable in what I know, what I like, and what I don't like. And yes, I still make mistakes, but I've learned to just get rid of those mistakes and move on. Even if I've spent a lot of money on it, sometimes you just have to move on. So think about that when you're out shopping. Make a list before you go. Clean out your closet. Get ready for spring. I think we've got a lot of great things that are coming. And if you're ever looking for inspiration, you can follow me on Instagram. I share different outfits there. I'm on ShopMy. I have an Amazon storefront. We'll link all of that in the show notes. But you don't have to dress a certain way just because you've gotten older. So it's all about dressing in your confidence and making sure that you're not aging yourself. If you feel like you are, make sure you're surrounding yourself with the right friends who will help you, not criticize you, but that will help you, especially if you don't feel like you have much style. Get somebody to help you. You can go to a department store. Here in Birmingham, we have Gus Meyer. Great place to go. They will help you find what is your style and buy some key pieces that you feel confident in. And then, you're going to feel so much better. And this will be so much easier to get dressed, which makes your life so much easier. Over 50, we need to think about simplicity, not complicated. What are we going to wear, right? I hate the question, what am I going to wear and what's for dinner? Those are the two questions that just drive me crazy. Okay, well, thank you so much for listening. If this resonates with you, please let me know and connect with me through social media, through email, Deanna@wellandworthylife.com. Again, if you want to share this podcast, I would love for you to share it. Be sure to hit subscribe, follow, all the things. That's how I know that you're enjoying this show so that I can keep recording weekly episodes and trying to keep them under 30 minutes. Thanks, y'all. Thanks for being here, friend. Don't forget to subscribe, share this episode, and keep choosing what makes you feel well and worthy.